that.
Okay,
I know
yeah.
them well. So
All right.
there's all short people.
Okay.
And I don't understand, but even when we got into Europe, right, first thing they did, cheap labour. All our lads couldn't work on farms, they couldn't do deck chairs, they couldn't do all them jobs they did before. They got some money in and paid them all the money, and they love it, right?
What about, so just to interrupt you, what about post-First World War then? When, you know, have you heard of a writer and poet called Alan Ladd? He once said, they promised us homes fit for heroes.
That's it.
They gave us heroes fit for homes. But there were no Muslims about in those days.
No, there wasn't.
Exactly.
No, there wasn't.
So what I'm saying to you is that these are people who put you into go and die in battle for their perverted sakes. That, you can't blame the Muslims for that, can you?
No,
They were
this
promised
is well
lavish life
before,
after. Where did that happen? You can't blame the immigrants for that, can you?
If I look at some old film on YouTube of England in 1900, you don't hardly see a black person, a Muslim, everyone's white. There's pictures there, all these people coming out of the factories, and they look all white. Everyone's white. So in them days, there was no them and us or them that religious thing. And there are very few Muslims about. You go out now, because every building you see that used to be a pub or a garage, there's a mosque.
Well, because they can't afford to maintain everything. For example, pubs now. For example, they can't afford to run now.
No, because you don't go to a pub.
Exactly, we don't drink because we're going to get...
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
and you know why we don't drink.
All around the East End, pubs are all gone.
Yep.
Because it's all Muslims, they don't drink.
They don't drink. But don't you think it's a good thing for the economy? Don't you think that it's... You know, did you know, check this out. Hear this out. Just check this out. Did you know how many billions of pounds are wasted on the NHS as a result of alcohol-induced...
That's right.
So you're happy with that?
No, that's why they put the cost of alcohol up, the cost of smoking up.
Yeah, but what I'm asking you, just observe what you just said. Yeah. You got a complaint that, the pubs are closing down, they've been turned into mosques or whatever. So the fact is that, first of all, the pubs are unsustainable because the populace now are infrequenting. Pardon? Yeah. Yeah, because what happens, for example, once upon a time, in the English culture, you would have large families. Now, what happens? If you're fortunate, isn't that true? There used to be a big family, right? Like several kids in the. But now that's no longer the case.
Years ago, don't have too many kids.
There you go. And what has that done for your society? It's just degenerated it, isn't it?
Years ago. It don't happen now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying now, but they used to have a good, cohesive, moral family structure in those days. But now, you're lucky if a couple do get married, if they do have a child, it'll be probably one, pushing it two. You don't get any more than that today, do you? The very institution of marriage has been given the old elbow, isn't it?
I'd like to know what the average is between a white couple and a Muslim couple. They have more kids than we have.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good thing because what that does, if the population goes down exponentially, but the point is the labour is going to go down. How are you going to build your? How are you going to look after your NHS, your hospitals, and your London transport, and all of your other things that Muslims are predominant in? Muslims own 33% of businesses in London. Did you know that? Yeah, but without them, therefore, London's economy would fall flat on its face. 33% of its businesses. So they're contributing. One second, they're contributing to the society of this country.
This is why.
Yeah.
Mayor of London is a Muslim himself, isn't he? He's saying he's backing all the Muslims on looking after them because he knows. Who do you think kept him in his job when he come up for the vote? Muslims.
Well, we do know when Rishi Sunak, the 5'6" Indian Prime Minister, was actually put on the test, on the vote, he got knocked out, didn't he? Because he actually only got into government as a result of the machinations of Michael Gove when Liz Truss voted her in, because the Englishmen didn't want a little Indian vote. Let's be brutally real about this.
It looks good, doesn't it? Oh, look, we've got an Indian Prime Minister.
Yeah, but
we don't mind.
But look at that. Look at the way Michael Gove did it, though. Because when the face-off happened between Liz Truss and Michael Gove, the bleating Tories, they all voted for Liz Truss. And what happened? She just served 7 weeks and she was given the elbow by Michael Gove. And who comes in? The knight in shining armour, little Mr. Sunak. But when he's put to the test by the British public, they say, on your bike, son, you little Indian bloke. Sorry?
I didn't like him.
You don't like him? I know, but the point is that the average Englishman who took the votes away from the Tories and gave it to the UKIP, for example, their votes went through the roof exponentially.
It proved to me that he wasn't
So it proves to us that the Englishmen don't want a little Indian bloke ruling them. That's what it shows.
That suck bloke, when he left the house, when he left number 10, they interviewed him. He said the best thing that happened to me was it proves he's not English. My two little girls sat on the steps of Downing Street and wrote 2 Diwali candles. When you think, oh, what's fucking gone on, all he's interested in, the best thing that happened was my 2 little girls lighting fucking Diwali candles.
Diwali candles, yeah.
Not English.
But what I'm saying, yeah, but what is English? So English would be lighting a Christmas tree, would it, or putting in what you call a little bit of holly and mistletoe?
We had that's tradition, wasn't it? We had what was it? What was that thing?
Well, nobody wants to watch the circus anymore, do they? That's a bit bloody boring as hell, isn't it? Watching.
We had Diwali the other week.
Yeah.
All them fucking fireworks going off.
Yeah.
No one rang the radio up or the TV.
Yes.
Said all these fireworks are scaring my fucking animals. When Guy Fawkes night, you know Guy Fawkes night?
Yeah, of course.
November the 5th.
5th, yeah.
No fucker remembers that no more. But that really happened. Diwali's bullshit. Guy Fawkes really happened. It's English history.
Yes.
The people ringing up to tell you, oh my dog's all barking and stuff. But why didn't you fucking ring up when Diwali was on?
Yes. No, I agree. I mean, for little customs that you may have, they should be continued. But however, listen to the point.
Well, because Diwali's going to fucking kick Guy Fawkes night.
At least you can't blame the Muslims, but they don't do the firecrackers, do they?
Well,
on their Eid, they don't. They're not supposed to anyway.
Didn't you fucking hear it? It was like World War fucking 2.
When?
There's more fireworks going up than there was on bonfire night because there's more of them than us.
Yeah. The point is.
I've asked a lot of Muslims, do you know what Guy Fawkes had?
Yeah, we know for Guy, he went and tried to rip up Parliament, didn't he? But the point being is that's not very clever. That's not a very great commemoration. I'm just thinking about what you just said.
He was a terrorist.
Yeah, it's not. You're commemorating a bleeding terrorist.
No, we're commemorating that he got caught, not that he.
But it's a part of your culture. No, the point is, it's a part of the culture. There he was going to knock out Parliament.
That's right.
And he was going to knock out Parliament, and we're thinking,
but it didn't happen.
Lo and behold, we should commemorate that.
It didn't happen because he got caught, right? There was him and about 6 others, conspirators.
Yes.
They got caught, right?
Yeah.
They took old Guy Fawkes into the
Tower of London. Yeah.
The others escaped out into somewhere around Nottingham somewhere.
Yeah.
They chased them down to this.
Robin Hood. No, I'm joking. Go on, carry on.
And the house is still there, with all the bullet holes in it.
Yeah.
So it's real history. What's Diwali? Oh, celebration of life.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking bullshit. That, isn't it?
Well, listen, we're not Hindu, so we can't. I don't want to make a comment on that. They like to plaster themselves with a load of colour as well and all that, but that's their custom, I suppose. But the point I'm trying to say to you, see, we've got to reflect upon this. It's not just blame the bleating jolly foreigner, right? And we English we're being emancipated, we're being taken away by these foreigners who are coming in the country. No, the fact is that immigration which comes in is there for the usage of the country. These menial jobs that they do, working as cleaners or working on, we've got to accept that, you see. Whereas the Englishmen didn't want to do those really. I'm not saying people didn't do hard jobs, but what I'm saying to you,
Of course they do.
yeah. But what I'm saying to you though,
They still do them now.
they still do. I'm not disputing that. However, it makes it easier for the foreigner to come in who's going to be paid £4 an hour to do the menial job. You see, it invigorates the economy.
Is that £4 an hour, which should be 6 or 7? They're just paying because it's cheaper.
Exactly. That's why they let them in. So, for example, minimum wage in April is going to go up to £12.50 or something like that. But that bloke's going to be working his socks off, working about God knows how many hours, possibly up to about 80, 90 hours a week to get £4 an hour. He's going to be grabbing your hand off. With the average punter, he doesn't want to be doing that, working 8 hours a week. So what I'm saying to you, migration was a necessity throughout history, you see. Britain is built on the foundations of migration.
Of course, every country's got migration. America, look at the biggest one. America, isn't it?
Yes, precisely, yes.
Biggest migration of everybody.
Yes.
I went over there, I went over to Statue of Liberty and see where they come in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where they come in, migrants come here and look around there.
Yeah.
So I went in New York a few years ago. So we went over there, Statue of Liberty. Of course, it was Ellis Island.
Pardon?
Was it Ellis Island?
Yeah, I think so, yes, yeah.
So all the boats come into there.
That's right, yes.
All the migrants and that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, America's always been migrants. So we've always had it, but it's getting too much now.
So, like you said, when we say too much, like I said to you, the country needs migration to build up the core structure of it. Those tasks which are to be performed to uplift the economy, it's a necessity, isn't it? Do you understand? It's a necessity. Otherwise, where there's going to be, our economies are going to go downwards. For example, just say you became Prime Minister tomorrow. First you're going to say, all right, on your bike, all you foreigners, okay? And then you're going to say, let's get rid of all the staff at in the hospitals. That means, I'm not saying you're saying it, but a lot of people of that particular ilk would suggest that. So if you're going to collapse the economy, there's going to be no one to look after you on the NHS. There's going
the latest thing is the economy's already collapsed because what she's done.
Well, I mean, still,
Loads of businesses are going.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to run them because of what she's brought out. I've lost my fucking eating allowance, like many others.
Yeah, that's because of mismanagement, isn't it? But as a result of that, they'll still bring back further what you call more migration, more what you call increase the interest rates, increase your tax rates, and they'll be Bob's your uncle. They're happy and going again.
You would think that when she took our cold weather payment away.
Are you talking about trust?
Yeah, well, no, the last budget.
All right, yes. Yeah, so yeah, beg your pardon, yes.
She took it off.
Yes.
So you've got to be on pension credit, which means you've got to be on your knees. But what disgusting me, the Conservatives never got up and said, we get in, we're bringing it back. They never said it because they agree with it.
Yeah, I mean that's due to mismanagement on their part, isn't it? It's not due to, you can't blame jolly foreigners for that, can you?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Because that money we've lost,
yes.
It's peanuts.
Yeah.
It's peanuts. Look at all these weapons they're sending to Ukraine. One of them missiles, £2 million a go. And there's other ones, they under about £180,000 a go.
Exactly. That's all right. It's all right to give billions away to Israel, for example, to carry on in their genocide. Just give all that away. Forget about someone like you who is just asking for a little bit of few quid just to heat up his house. But they say, no, we can't sort you out, but we can stuff Israel with the genocide that they're doing.
It's like with this farmer strike, right? What I read today was we're sending £850 million to Africa to help their farmers. And I don't give a shit about it.
They don't.
You know what they're doing with the farming? Like the miners. They want that land. And they'll do away with farming because the cows are giving out too much methane and destroying the atmosphere.
Very good point. Excellent point.
And there's somebody on there the other day was saying, do you know there's people, developers are lining up to get that land. They're lining up. So what they're going to do, they're going to degrade farming by saying, we'll just get it in on a boat. We'll just get it in, don't live in it. Same with the coal miners. They've done that now. Yeah, we're sitting on 350 million years of coal. So we're doing nothing with it. And you know where we get coal from? Fucking Australia.
Exactly.
You go on YouTube and say, where do we get coal from? Yeah. All the way from Australia, they give us coal that we've got down there.
There you go. Madness, isn't it? But I hope I've given you some other points to reflect upon in our conversation. So, like I said, I mean, you can't blame it. It's like a bit of, it'll border on ignorance to blame, like, yeah. It's that the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Simple as that. Forever.
Look at Prince Charles, they found out fucking money he's taking. Right? He's getting paid from all different areas all around the country because he owns that bit of land.
Yes.
Even a pier, there's a pier somewhere on the coast.
Yes.
He owns the land the piers on. When they get on boat, he's getting money from that. And everyone's not saying nothing. Why?
Do you want a little read of the Quran as we spoke? It's in English. It's not in Arabic. You sure? No problem.
I don't read the Bible.
You don't read it?
No.
But one day, like you said, with due respect to you,
It's just a good read, isn't it?
yeah.
When I went to school,
Yeah.
I realised this ain't real.
Why did you feel that?
Who wrote the Bible?
Unknown authors, really. People don't really know who wrote it.
So some bloke, how many hundreds years ago was that?
About 1400 years ago.
Nothing, is it? It don't say in there this book was written by Mr. First Edition.
Yeah. Now what it does, so it's claiming to be a divine revelation.
You don't know, that's what I'm saying. No one knows if it's true.
Well, you can test it then. Test it out. See if there's any internal contradictions. See if it goes against established science. See what's inherently wrong with it. Then you can check it out. any book. So in that case, anything written in ancient history, you could just dismiss it out of hand just totally because you've got no evidence.
How many times that been changed?
Never been changed. Not like the New Testament. This is a unique claim. The unique claim of this book is it says if you find a contradiction therein,
Get a prize.
no, basically it says that. It's a challenge. Whereas the Bible is literally a contradiction. I can show it to you relentlessly. All right, nice speaking to you though, yeah? You take care. All right, have a good day. I'm a very interesting conversation with a particular English gentleman of a particular bygone era. So he's got his set up values and set beliefs, which are quintessentially from like I said, a particularly bygone era. We don't want to stick. He's still elderly, so we got still respect him in every way, shape, or form. But you can see some of the gripes that he's got, which are pretty unjustified. But may Allah guide him. It's like, even at this age, he's knocking on a bit, but he's still, like I said, set in his ways. But you know, I hope he's going to mellow soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.